Hey, it's Tuesday already. Our hats are backwards, which means we've already been working. Good morning, everybody in the live stream. Good morning, people on the podcast. Talking about Ford, GM, and old EV batteries, if you can believe that. There are some EV batteries that are old already. I mean, I guess I can believe it.
I don't know. The world is weird. The world is so weird. I got the chance, speaking of EVs, but not really a segue. I got the chance with creative director Kelly, our lead writer Chris, to go to Two Rivers Ford last Friday. We did a little record with JD Power. I had a little interview that'll be coming out soon. But
I think I only saw the bloopers from that one.
Yeah, it was special. Yeah, it was fun. But we got to hang out with a few of the staff members there, and they have an EV specialist, and so it was really cool to kind of hang out with him and see like his perspective. He's been doing it for just a year, and even better is everybody listening to this pod can go search In the Dirt wherever they get their podcasts, and the most recent podcast is Cody Dassinger III, the EV specialist at Two Rivers Ford. You're going to want to check it out. It's just a few minutes, but check it out. Little perspective from someone in the industry.
Love it.
Focused on that, on the retail side.
So that is searching In the Dirt.
In the Dirt.
In the Dirt. With us.
That's how we do.
That's love. Is this the guy with the beard?
Yes. His beard is epic.
Okay. Okay. That's the blooper reel I saw. I was with him.
Yeah, we'll check that out. But yeah, his beard is epic. His hair is epic. Like everything is Nashville
buttoned
on
up.
Point. So
gotcha. Nashville epic.
It's Nashville epic. It's the only way I can.
Super gray hair, super beard, super skinny jeans, or did he have like the short shorts? I don't know.
No, yeah, he probably would have been wearing short shorts
if it was the weekend. If it was the weekend.
It is the weekend.
Hey, we got a lot of stuff coming in, but we do want to mention again that ASOTU CON, our big event of the year, is coming in hot. September. Oh, man, the dates are all blur. What are the dates, Kyle?
25th through the 20. We're going to call it 25th through the 28th because you got to be there on the night of the 25th and you got to stay all the way slap through the 27th, fly out.
No, it's not 25th through the 28th. That's 4 days.
Well, but the night of the 25th is when it starts, and you don't want to
fly
fly out to the 28th. We don't need people leaving before Jesse Cole comes on the stage.
That's true.
Right?
We have Jesse Cole, the founder of the Savannah Bananas. ESPN made a documentary about him. He's amazing. Search Jesse Cole. You don't want to miss Jesse. You just don't. Put the graphic back up on screen, Nathan. If you're watching on your computer, you can scan the QR code that's on the screen. If you're listening or you're on your phone, just go to ASOTUCon.com. Get your ticket now. The real reason you want to get your ticket now is because the main hotel is going to sell out and you want to be in the main hotel. And you also save, what are we still, $100 off right now?
Save $100 from the price when it hits September. So
there you go. There you go. So, all right, let's talk about some news. It's a fun little dichotomy today. The EV pricing wars are heating up as Ford has cut prices for its F-150 Lighting electric pickup between $6,000 and $10,000 discounts. Get out of here. Oh my gosh. Depending on the model, Marin Gjaja, the chief customer officer of Ford. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Chief customer officer of Ford EV unit explained the price reductions are due to lower material costs and higher production capacity. I wonder if it's that only.
Really?
But the cheapest Lightning model, the commercial focused Pro trim, will now start at $51,900, which is still 25% more expensive than when they launched in April. I think they were at the time it was like $39,900, right? Is what they were saying. Right. It was a sub $40,000 pickup. The highest price trim, the extended range Platinum model, was only reduced by $6,000. So you're still going to be paying $93,000 for that. However, there's an additional $1,000 incentive if you buy or order before the end of July. And then on top of that, we have the $7,500 tax credit for any truck under $80,000, meaning if you get the entry-level truck with the current discount, with the $1,000 incentive and the $7,500 tax credit, you can get a Ford F-150 Lightning for $43,400. Which seems like,
look, I think that's in line. You know what I mean?
Absolutely it is.
Like I've seen that truck, and that thing is a nice truck, even if it's the basic work truck. Like that thing is ready to go. Now,
I mean, unfortunately, congratulations to the customer, but not necessarily to Ford.
Right. Paul, have you ever heard of discounts up to $10,000 in the auto industry? Have you ever, do you remember a time when that existed?
Oh, I sure do. On pickups, especially.
Just throwing that out there.
Jim Ford had previously cautioned against aggressive price cuts, arguing that they damage the resale value of the vehicles and disappoint the customers who purchased at higher prices. He did also say, and they never forget, which sure, if I bought an F-150 Lightning last month and now it's $10,000 cheaper, and now I know I'm in that truck, right? Like, you are not trading out of that. So Ford's playing a little different game as far as the customers never forgetting that Tesla is.
There's two parts of this. One is we have to look at this as like, this is, for all intents and purposes, a large rebate to accelerate purchasing, right? To accelerate buying behavior, create demand. However, I do understand some level of like, hey, over the next 3 to 4 years, we will see prices come to like the new normal for EVs, right? I mean, you just look at these vehicles as massive pieces of technology, less hardware, more software. And even the hardware that's used to produce these types of trucks is just going to get cheaper. They're going to refine processes for creating them. I mean, you just look at like, watch a TV over the last 5 years, watch a 4K HD, OLED or QLED TV, almost get cut in half in pricing. And so I think this is something that we haven't seen in automotive in the past, because
technology hasn't been as fresh.
Exactly. Technology is further behind in automobiles, and now technology in auto is actually like pushing the bleeding edge, which means there's going to be this like increase and pullback until there's a normalization of the rhythm of and speed at which like new technologies develop. So I get both sides of it. Still, it just rings and like shouts at me, OEMs attempting to like push demand through price discounting. And it's something that like we've just seen this story. We've seen the narrative before.
It's a hot potato. It's a hot potato for sure.
Hot potato.
I don't know. Speaking of inventory,
hey,
segue
time. Kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum, according to Rory Harvey's, GM's North America president, the company has strong demand and is actually having some trouble getting units to dealers fast enough. At a Lansing, Michigan event, Harvey said, at this particular point in time, we could just about sell every product that we can build. Kind of the opposite of an incentive mindset. He partially credits the management of demand and says that, quote, GM very strongly continues to have discipline in terms of incentives. So as far as challenges go, transporting the vehicles via, road or rail, it's kind of interesting that that's the challenge. It seems like something they've been doing really well, but hey, we're not trying to manage that. But when it comes to EV sales, Harvey declined to direct. He declined to directly attribute the lower than expected sales of GM's newest EVs, the GMC Hummer and the Cadillac Lyriq, to issues with Ultium batteries as the potential bottleneck in production. So GM only sold 1,300 Lyriqs and 47 Hummers in the second quarter. They do predict a significant increase, but they're definitely in a different stage of the EV game. So they have like this little like late comer advantage, because the Silverado EV hasn't come out yet, right? Ford's a little ahead. So we'll see if Ford learning from this earlier is going to end up helping them win in the long run, because, you win or you learn, and Ford's doing a lot of learning, and GM's probably not too far behind.
Well, yeah. And I mean, it's like every successive new entrant into the EV space is going to continually learn from someone who's done it longer than them in the past. And so especially the Detroit OEMs are going to learn from each other. They're going to watch what happens to each other. It's interesting because I see like GM's day supply of vehicles rising quicker than the majority of OEMs. So it's a confusing.
How does that reconcile? Right.
Yeah. Where's the reconciliation of like, we can sell everything that's there? Does that mean like we can pretty much wholesale everything that's there, or we can pretty much retail everything that's there? I don't know what the learning there is.
That's a really great point. Like, what does he mean when he says that? That would have been the
dealers
question
are
to ask.
accepting all of the inventory, but
because
you'll see
it's
a rising
been low
day supply within GM.
That's the question of the day.
Yeah.
If you were there, can you imagine asking that to him? We need to get in these press conferences, man.
So tell me a thing real quick. Just give it to me, okay? Rory, be real with me.
Hey, Rory. You gotta say it like that. Are we talking wholesale or retail? Pause button. Let me explain to everyone in this press audience why that matters.
Oh man, we're gonna get ourselves in trouble on a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. We have a little making up for it to do. But it's time to get out of this one. Speaking of EV batteries, we'll just go there.
Segue.
We give a lot around the EVs, but we don't get around EV sales, but not around the total life cycle of everything in an EV. However, one company in Lancaster, California is giving a whole new life to used EV batteries. Basically, what they're doing is storing solar power, tackling now both renewable energy issues as well as supply and as well as the battery disposal issues. So B2U Storage Solutions is using retired EV batteries that still are retaining up to 60 and 70% of their original charge capacity to connect together a series of solar panels and then sells that solar power back to the main grid during peak demand periods in the evening. So basically they are taking used EV batteries, creating this solar power grid to store solar power and then selling that power back to the main grid. And what they're saying is those EV batteries have another 5 to 6 years of life on them before being recycled into like the raw materials. So but they're still struggling with like supplying the demand because there is so much demand on the power grid.
Right. How do we get used batteries too? Right.
How do we do that? Well, we sell more new EVs.
It takes a little bit.
Yeah, takes a little bit of time.
So this kind of reminds me of a conversation I had with my mother-in-law, a text conversation with my mother-in-law last week. And I'll tie it together.
Okay.
Because when you have a mother-in-law and your son-in-law, you all of a sudden have inherited this new role of tech support, especially iPhone tech support, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Right? So, but she's like, my phone's not holding a charge well. And it turns off every now and again. Great. What iPhone is it? She's like, it's an iPhone 7. I was like,
oh, yo.
I was like, well, we're on an iPhone 16 just about. So I had her check her battery health, and battery health was at 80%, which was like, man, that seems pretty good. And then I looked it up, and anything under 80% is supposed to be almost unusable. So that gives a little context to this story. So you're like, these batteries still have 60 to 70%. The problem is they don't charge fast. They don't go to max capacity. However, it's very good still for just storing power, not moving it in and out really fast. That is actually what fatigues a battery, is charging it quickly, depleting it quickly, charging it quickly, depleting it quickly. Right. And so that makes sense that at 60 to 70%, they don't have any real usability in an EV. Performance would be terrible.
But
however,
they can still store a charge.
Absolutely. Right? So, I mean, this makes a lot of sense, especially, with all the power outages and things like that. It's funny that some of this energy will be used to probably charge EVs. I guess the real question is how affordable do the batteries stay, right? Once the demand for EV batteries increases and the materials in them become more valuable, does it make more sense to get them right back into the recycling process?
Right. Well, and just like the storage of this, right? Like the size that it takes to put together a solar panel network, and
I mean, California's got a little bit of space.
They got a little bit of space out there.
But it's kind of got.
Still, it's just kind of interesting. But it makes sense that it's in California. You have the most EVs in use, and
that's right. Proximity's right.
One of the most strenuous power grids in the country, that in Texas. So.
Yep. And the company is profitable. Did you say
profitable. That? No, I didn't say that yet. They're profitable, which is like, hello.
Hey, I'm in.
Time to go buy up some EV batteries and solar panels,
used ones, and ship them to California using fossil fuels. We won't even get into that. We hope you have a great Tuesday. Get out there, get your ASOTU CON tickets, and get out there. Love some people more than you love the cars, but you can love the cars too.
Good